folks. Welcome back to the Estonian Experience. It's been a while, but not for you guys. Fuck it, I'm going to start again.
No. Fuck it. Go for it.
No, it's all good. So here we are in a new studio. It's called Richter Studio. It's here in Tallinn as well, and we have really good sound and stuff, and we're going to have a camera, and we'll be releasing every Monday morning. So I'm pretty happy with this. What do you think?
If you want to come here, just ask for Jason. I mean, no, I'm not here. I don't get no discounts.
Yeah, and if you don't know, I'm Stuart. This is Jason.
Welcome, guys, back to the Estonian Experience with Stu and Jay. We're excited to be back. Can't wait to show you what we got today.
I was watching the news yesterday, and I can't believe some of these idiots they put on TV on the Estonian news stations. Like, they'll just put anybody there. It's kind of funny. I don't know. Do you ever watch the news?
News in Estonia? Really?
Well, yeah. I mean, they just put anybody on there because anybody can do it. So, I'd like to introduce we should introduce our guest today. We have someone who her name is Katrin Aarma. Welcome.
I don't know who that is, but
Hi.
It's this one.
Hi.
Hello.
Would you care to explain to people listening what you do for a living?
Well, I'm a professional news reader.
Oh my goodness, that's best.
So all day long I read news. And then I go on air and read more news.
Do you get to pick the news? Good news or bad news?
Both. Usually, actually, I pick the good news and the other editors that pick things for me pick the bad news. That's
some
balance.
trickery.
And so you're on TV. You're a TV newscaster.
Yes.
Okay, what channel?
Estonian Public Broadcasting, Estonian Television.
ETV.
And how do you say that in Estonian?
Eesti Televisioon.
I thought it was Eesti Rahvusringhääling.
Yes.
And how does that translate literally to English?
Estonian...
Gaba.
How would you say it?
I would say it translates directly as Estonian voice circling. Circle voicing.
Oh, like literally translation, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, that's what we do. We circle the voice of truth over the land.
How much is actually made up?
Nothing.
Are you sure?
Or maybe...
Fake news. I'm from the States.
Quite a lot.
No, I like ERR. I think it's a good channel to have as like white noise in the background. Because they just put anybody on there.
Stuart, maybe they want to give us a TV show, so relax.
No. I've been a guest on some of their shows quite a few times, so I do respect the place a little bit. No, I like it a lot. I'm just joking around.
Wait, is that the same channel with Ringvaade, yeah?
Yes.
Also, I've been a guest also myself, so yeah, it's the best TV show in Estonia.
Oh, I love it. Yes, I'd like to work there too. I just want to fill you in, like the reason that I started with this kind of turkey voice is we were just joking around. How Jason and I, it turns out, we both, when we lived in the States, we both used to work in a Bilo, that's a shopping grocery store. And on Thanksgiving, I liked working holidays, and so Thanksgiving morning I'd go to work, and the manager, he was a pretty cool guy, and we'd get on the intercom in the store, and I'd go to the back, and I'd say like, "Kappa, kappa, kappa," and then he'd respond on the intercom from the front, "Kappa, kappa, kappa, kappa." And people in the shop had no idea what the fuck was going on, so it was just kind of funny, and we were laughing.
So they were like, "Oh, anybody can work here. All the crazy guys come to work here."
Yeah. The same people who work as cashiers at Bilo can also be newsreaders at ERR and stuff like that.
You got the rednecks and the Latinos working in Bilo supermarket, so.
So tell us a bit about yourself, Katrin.
I've never said the kaba 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 on air.
Okay, all right, good.
So it's the first thing for everything, yeah?
Well, yeah, actually I've been working in Estonian public broadcasting basically all my adult life, almost adult life also, because I started in public broadcasting when I was 17 years old.
17?
Yeah, and straight to the live show.
Okay.
I was a subtitle editor in the news show of Estonian public broadcasting.
Impressive.
Okay, so you weren't on the air, you just worked like behind the scenes.
My mouse click was very important. This finger was very important. I mean, all the subtitles to the people who were on air came through this finger, and I also drew the weather maps.
With that same finger?
With that same very finger.
I always thought it was like kind of like a finger painting or something, that's the graph. I'm kidding.
Yeah, but I have to say that, okay, I was 17 years old, and then I was a substitute to this subtitle editor person. So in the summertime I worked there, but then I fell totally in love with live show.
How does someone at 17 years old get into this? I mean, I'm really curious.
And how do you become a subtitle editor?
Yeah, the thing is that they were searching for a substitute. They were searching, and it happened to be so that somebody that I knew worked there, and they
So
were
you
searching.
knew
and
somebody,
they
they knew somebody, they
Yeah,
knew
yeah,
somebody,
yeah.
okay.
And then through basically connections, they offered me the job. At first, I said straight away no, because it seemed like, well, it's impossible for a young girl like me, like go on air and do important things on the most important news show of Estonia. But then they convinced me that
Do you remember
maybe
the
you
name
can
of the
do
show?
it. Well, Aktuaalne Kaamera. It's
Aktuaalne
Yeah.
Kamera.
it's
Like-
the show.
The current news show,
Yeah.
basically, yeah.
Yeah, which also won the title of best päevaga ja saade. How would you say that in English?
The best daily
Show. Just
Yeah, it's a
last week.
A daily show.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Okay. Like I said, I don't watch TV, so I have a TV, but I don't watch it.
So some news for you. Here you are.
Yeah. No news would have been better news, I think, in this. No, I'm just kidding. I do have a connection to Estonian news, like ETV specifically, because when I had already been to Estonia for the first time in 1997, and then I still had to finish my university in 1998, I had already decided that I wanted to come back to Estonia for a few months or something, and it turned out that on I think it was PBS, which is Public Broadcasting, whatever the S is. Station, yeah, in the States, they would show Estonian news at like 2 o'clock in the morning or 1 o'clock in the morning. For about half an hour. And so I would just sit there and watch it, and I was just amazed at the sounds.
Why were you watching PBS at 2 o'clock in the morning? That's my question here.
Well, so I don't ask. I don't know how I
What
found
were
it.
you doing today at 2 o'clock in the morning? I was washing clothes, for example, because the electricity is right now cheaper.
I was trying to finish my, Casa de Papel or the Money Heist on Netflix show, but I was at 2 in the morning.
And you?
At 2 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
I was sleeping.
Yeah.
Boring.
Last night? Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that. I'm really curious about how you feel as an Estonian, the current prices of the electricity, for example, here. It's something that it drives me crazy. Everything in my house is electric, from sauna to cooking to heating. And for me, the past couple of years has been just crazy. It feels like I'm working my whole entire job to pay my entire salary just to the electric supplier.
I
Get a
know.
better job.
It's actually, it's good. I mean, we have heating in the bathroom that gives, the warmth from the
floor.
from the floor, and it feels all nice, and the cat loves it and always sleeps there. And now it's all cold and dark and, pointless because we don't put it on.
The cat's looking for a new home.
Yeah, basically now it's climbing to the sofa and so on. And yeah, this night, during the nighttime, I put some heating on because, it's cheaper then.
I wanted to, for example, ask for, I remember when we went from crowns to euros, a lot of people were like, making the commotion that they didn't want to go to that, that transition. And they promised, I remember the government promising that nothing was going to change. Everything
Except the currency.
changed.
Everything changed.
Except the salaries, I will say. Everything changed except the salaries.
Yeah, but I actually knew it because just before we took the transition, I went to Greece to make some reports from there. They had these elections at the time, but I also asked about the transition to euro, and then they already said that don't buy the story that nothing is going to change. It's all going to get much.
At the time, I heard the same
pricier.
from every single country that was joining. They said the same thing in Germany and France and Belgium and Holland, and so on. They didn't say that in the UK. For some
The
reason.
what?
For some reason.
Which on a slight topic, I read that there is a growing movement to go back to the imperial measurement system in the UK because they're not in the EU anymore. Even though I think they went over to metric in 1972 or something.
But they still have miles, though.
Yeah. Well, nothing's. I don't understand the English. I mean, I understand it, but I don't understand why people would want to use that. It's stupid.
I don't understand the English of the American
Like
guy.
1 mile is 5,240
Never
feet. Well,
understood
what the actual F? I don't
Spanish,
get that.
yes.
Oh, muchas gracias. Muchas gracias.
Now, you speak Greek, right? Somewhat.
Yes, a little bit. Yes.
Okay. Say something in Greek.
Dina supodora, den xero dina po. Δεν θέλω να πω κάτι άσημο. Ξέρω ότι θέλεις να σου πω κάτι άσημο, αλλά δεν θέλω.
Super arigasimo.
No. That was
I
Japan.
don't believe that you were
That
speaking.
was Japanese.
I don't believe that you were speaking Greek.
Sumo arigato.
No.
You're not speaking Greek.
Arigato gozaimasu.
I speak almost every language except Greek. Test me.
Well, do you know the lyrics of Sonne, Rammstein?
No, that's like Greek to me. I can't believe you fell for that. Oh my goodness. It's like 1955 joke.
Even I know that one. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah. I love Rammstein.
I thought it was always 1, 2, Polizei.
No,
That's what people used to
that's
say.
not cool.
So,
Well, is it not
okay.
cool?
So Katrin is a person who obviously likes languages and likes other cultures. I would like to know, what was your first impression when Estonia started to change and getting all these foreigners? For me, it was a shock because when I came here, I was...
It's all cool because when I was in the university, I went with the Erasmus program to Greece, and we had people from, I don't know, like 10 different countries, 10 to 16, I don't remember exactly, but it was fantastic. I got to know the different cultures through Europe, and since then I have loved this multicultural thing, and it's just in me.
That's great to hear, because that's one of the questions that people from other countries always ask me, like, what do the Estonians think about like foreigners, specifically like Latinos or dark-skinned people? Well, I'm not so
but
dark,
they
but you know.
taught me so much about how
I think I'm
actually,
darker.
yeah.
Yes. You should see my ass. Sorry.
As soon as I'm starting to speak something meaningful, you go like, look at my skin color.
Look at me.
Look at me.
Or he says, look at my ass color. Like, oh, good grief.
Look at the ass
I'm sorry.
Go for
I'm
it.
looking at an ass. There is a picture of an ass on the microphone.
I'm seeing movies. But anyways, getting back to you.
Guys, what's wrong with you people?
You invited us here.
So I don't know what to say anymore.
So you're a big supporter of ECRA because you love multiculturalism.
I am
Basically.
a high-educated female living in the capital. So that are all the ticks that are the most ECRA supporters. Yes.
Explain to the people who does not live in Estonia what ECRA is.
ECRA is the Estonian Conservative People's Party. I don't remember how they translate it directly in English, but basically Eesti Konservatiivsus Rahvuspartei.
So I will call it like the redneck...
Eesti Konservatiivne Rahvaerakond.
I'll say that ECRA is just one S away from having excrement, which means shit.
Mierda.
Mierda.
But you know, talking bad things about them is just giving them power. So that's
yeah. I actually like people who support ECRA.
I feel powerful.
I like ECRA a lot. Yeah. Because
that's the reverse psychology that I can get used to.
You know, I have a fascination. I don't really like to talk politics, but I have a fascination with Savisaar somehow. I don't know why. Every time I think about,
you obviously haven't been close to him.
I never met the guy. Actually, I think I would like to meet him before he dies. Hopefully, he died before me,
dude.
But what? I don't want to die, dude. But I have a fascination about this guy. For me, so mysterious. Maybe because I don't know much about the history of his role in this country. But for me, it's so mysterious. I think he's one of the most interesting person that I would like to really meet in this country.
Obviously, he is very powerful, and he has done many good things, and he was a real figure in politics for a long time. Just the thing is that I have been a journalist. I am a journalist, and being in the same room with Edgar Savisaar as a journalist was not the most pleasant thing.
So it's like being with Trump, I guess, right now. And
I wouldn't say he's quite as charismatic as Trump, but I've had a couple experiences with him. For anybody who doesn't know, Edgar Savisaar, he was the former leader of the Center Party, mayor of Tallinn. I think he was even prime minister at one point in the early 2000s or late 90s.
He was, yeah.
And he was also pretty instrumental in the Estonian push for re-independence in the late 80s and early 90s. So, you know, he's done a lot of good, but then he also has a reputation for being pretty corrupt. You know, none of it's proven or something like that.
I know he buys the potatoes, so...
But Stuart knows. Stuart knows.
I got invited to go on Tallinna Televisioon one time, Tallinn Television, which is basically a Center Party funded station at that time, at least it was. I don't know about it now. And they invited me to go on and do a couple of minutes of stand-up and a few minutes of an interview. And I remember the woman is interviewing me, and it's live on the air. You can't edit the stuff. And it's all in Estonian. And she asked me, like, what's something that continues to surprise you about Estonia? And I said, why people would support the Center Party. And she was speechless. She's like, well, you do know that this is funded by the Center Party. I'm like, yeah, I do.
Wait, she said that on air?
Yeah. Really? Yeah, I don't know.
You do know this is funded by...
Or she said, you do know this is Tallinna Television. I think that's what she said.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. The Centre Party funded it. Like, that's kind of corruption-based. But and then I had to do the part where it's live on the... I had to do the part where I do stand-up live on the air, and I'm just standing in front of a camera, and there's like this, the studio window behind. I can kind of see through it. Edgar Savisaar is standing there when he can stand. He's standing there.
But really? He was there?
He was there, and he's watching me. And so I did a joke. I did a joke talking about... I had this old joke about the fattest dinosaur that ever lived was recently discovered, and they called it the Savisaurus. But the Savisaurus went extinct before most of the other dinosaurs because he had serious vision problems. Like, no matter where he turned his head, his eyes were always looking east.
Nice.
Which is, talking about collaboration with Putin and the Kremlin. And he was not happy about that. But, I was allowed to go on, continue and stuff. And that's my
You see some bodyguards, closing in?
No, but he did see a red light on his forehead, though.
But what happened afterwards? I mean, when the show was over, what happened?
I left, and we ended up in the parking lot, or not parking lot, it was like parking on the street at that time, at the same time, and he just kind of gave me a dirty look and left. Years later, he lost his leg to it was a complication of diabetes, and
there was a flesh-eating bacteria. Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And so I would never wish anything like that on my worst enemy. And I remember being on stage, and people one after another were telling the other comedians were telling Savisaar jokes, and I got up there and said, and nobody was laughing at the Savisaar jokes really. And I got up there and I was like, I would never wish this on anyone, but humor is a good way to deal with tragedy. If you can find anything, even one thing to laugh at, it makes it so much easier. That said, I have a Savisaar joke, and people were like, "Oh no, not from you too." And I said, "Savi Polsaar," and I actually got applause. So nobody stood up though; they would have fallen over. Jeez, I'm so horrible. I'm sorry.
He's not sorry,
yes,
trust me. He's not sorry.
No, he is. I know him also, he is.
Why you just blushing? Look at him.
I'm blushing?
Yeah. Why, you're so red, man.
Oh, geez, yeah, I am. I can see it on the monitor that we have here.
But Katrin, tell me a little bit about the most recent experience with foreigners here in Estonia, besides ourselves, of course.
Besides you too.
Yeah, something they will maybe pleasant, not so unpleasant also. Be open. Because, for example, I have a lot of friends, they always have several encounters with mostly elderly people. But, the youngsters also have some ideas of how to treat and talk to certain foreigners, especially with darker skin. So I wanted to know how you feel when, as a journalist, for example, I have to see the change of the country so rapidly, to the point that we have so many foreigners now. When I came here, I was called the dark guy. And now it's and I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love seeing all the kinds of colors and all the kinds of cultures coming in together. But I also hear a lot of people kind of complaining still. So from the journalist point of view, how do you feel about that?
Well, actually, I do feel for the people who come to Estonia. I mean, we have a lot of...
You mean tourists?
We have the exchange students who come also with Erasmus and other programs to Tallinn and Tartu also. I have heard many... stories. Not so nice stories, and I feel for them, What
do you mean not so nice? Like racism or something, or what?
Yes.
Like racism, okay. But not quite. But
but that's funny. People ask me all the time, and I never felt any, not until now, I guess, because I'm at Stuart now, so I get all the time this kind of attitudes, but I never felt racism towards me at all from Estonians. They did talk to me, I think I spoke about this before, they always talk to me in Russian. Somehow, because I don't know, because I look Russian, but maybe I look like Armenian or Georgian or something.
Or people hadn't experienced a foreign accent.
Or haven't experienced the foreign accents, So that's one of the things.
Maybe you're just a very nice person.
That's for sure. So, so that's probably why spasiba.
Actually, when I lived in Greece, everybody talked Russian to me also.
Because, I got to tell you this.
I can only imagine why.
Because she's blonde.
No, because everybody there is Russian.
No, I'll tell you right now. Outside the United States, outside the European Union, anybody from Latin America, for example, and in Asia, if you see a blonde person with blue eyes, the first thing that comes to mind is a Russian, which is weird because Russians don't usually look like that.
Yeah, but actually they even might not know Estonia, like where Estonia is. Okay, it's next to Russia, right? If you're not Russian, it's next to Russia, right?
It's next to Latvia.
No, everybody knows where Finland is, so I always say it's next to Finland. Everyone knows about Finland. So,
what's Finland?
It doesn't exist. Sorry.
Wish I could forget it.
But yeah, so for me, that's what I wanted to talk to you about the other day, about how people always talk to me about being a foreigner in Estonia, especially since we have this show. People are always asking so many questions, so therefore that's why we have this show now. But
I have many good examples of Estonian foreigners coming to Estonia and who have been a very good friend to me also, and that we are still in contact with some people, like a girl from Austria, for example, and they have been working in the IT industry. And they have had good experiences in Estonia. You know, they have had romances and friends and stuff. And
romances?
Yeah.
Foreigners have romances in Estonia?
No.
Sacre bleu!
Never.
Of what do you
and
speak?
it was a female who came to Estonia, not a male who came to
I was
Estonia.
just gonna say-
That's unusual.
Yeah.
That's unusual, yeah.
Because
That is.
usually Estonian women like to import men into this country. So yeah, that's very, very unusual.
He said it, not me.
I did. Well, Exhibit A.
Yeah, you are the import, I guess.
I'm telling you.
I was a siserandaja. I came in by myself. Just
And you stayed. And you're
self-appointed
still staying.
refugee. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, you got one thing I wanted to tell you though. The Estonian people, I mean, they have really nothing bad to say about Estonian people at all whatsoever, especially me because I want to stay here forever.
I have lots of bad things to say, but I won't.
But for me, it's always been so curious because I'm a guy who lived in 4 different countries already, and I've seen that a lot of Estonians, they move away for whatever reason, they always come back. Unless you left because of the war. So, I mean,
Well,
why is the reason that you guys
yes.
go for 2 years and then come back right away?
Well, I am very happy that I did not stay in Greece or wherever I traveled.
You don't know?
I'm very happy.
You don't know where you traveled?
I don't remember all the places. There have been so many
Come on.
faraway places. Also New York and Puerto Rico. And,
Really?
very nice places. But
Nobody's told
my
you.
roots are here in Estonia. You know, right now I'm living in a old farm house that is built by the family of my husband, and you know it's over 110 years old. The whole building and the complex. You know, it's so Estonian. But if I would have stayed in Greece or wherever, my husband's family would have taken over.
For me,
My
that's-
identity. That's just how it is.
For me, that's the interesting part because I'm come from a multicultural family and also raised in the U.S. So there's really no culture in me per se, you know. So when I come here and I see my wife talking about, you know, her family background and bringing that to our kids, you know, it's more like so impressive to see that, you know, to really how deep the roots of these Estonian people are.
Well, yeah, even actually, I'm not talking about America or
Yes,
Puerto
you can
Rico,
talk- you can
but
talk
especially about Greece. If I would have stayed there, their culture is so strong. You know, their culture is so, you know, the root of everything.
It's a couple of years old, I think.
or the root of Europe. You know,
Modern, yeah.
so that would have taken over. You know, the Greek people sometimes. They don't even like to travel outside because they have enough in their country, you know. They
Now,
have it all.
Could you explain something to me about Greece? I know it's a stereotype, but is it true that they like to eat olives?
Wow, you know so much about Greece.
What's not to
have
like?
you been there?
No, I haven't been there. I'd like
Seriously?
to go. No, I've never been.
Really?
Really?
Wow.
Why would
I haven't
lie?
never been to Spain, actually, which is also
Seriously?
also weird. Yes.
Yeah, that
sorry.
is weird.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Every
Yeah.
Estonians have been
I'm
to
so
Spain.
sorry.
Because you're blonde and blue eyes. You should go to Spain.
To Marbella. That's where all the Estonians go.
Or that's full of Russians. Everywhere's full of Russians.
Da, can
I
you-
like
But
Russians.
also,
I like Russians.
There is also, as an answer to your question, why people come back to Estonia,
Yes.
I have a friend who lives in Madrid and has been living for a couple of years by now, even more than a couple of years. But now she says that maybe she will come back to Estonia as a climate refugee because they have worse climate there right now. They have these floods and, you know, the heat. Everything is super, you know, extreme.
Yeah, this past summer it got over 50 degrees in Madrid, right?
Yeah.
That's
But imagine in the
unreasonable.
city, you know.
Yeah.
50 degrees.
Over. I think I don't know
I
what the
don't
highest
know.
was.
In the
but-
summer, I was a couple of weeks in the south, in Malaga, and with my family, and it was warmer here than it was in Malaga at that time. So,
We had a heat wave, I think.
yeah, it was
then.
like 42, like 34 degrees, something like that. We had like 26 or 27, which I was like, I spent so much money to go to Spain chasing the warm weather, and this happened.
Yeah, on my summer house porch this summer, it got, you know, it has like a clear roof, so it kind of has like a greenhouse effect. And the temperature outside, the thermometer showed well over 40 degrees. But the thermometer only goes up to 50, and I think didn't want to go all the way up there. I don't know. But the hottest I've ever felt, like not in a sauna, was 51 degrees, and that was in Afghanistan. But it wasn't that bad so long as you're not in the sun. You have to be in the shade. It was a dry heat, so it was okay. But Spain, I can't imagine being in a city with that heat.
Underground, so yeah. Afghanistan, tell us all about that.
It's a place where they have some political strife, some political struggles right now. The parties in power aren't really getting along that well.
Now, tell me about your experience. I don't want to hear about that.
I was
watch
He turned the news anchor switch on.
Oh no! Afghanistan it's a pretty modern country, where it used to be. A lot of people are trying to move there because the real estate is very cheap.
And the female rights are just,
amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
They have all the opportunities in the world, especially now.
Yeah, we're talking about Estonia, right?
They have a very strong mask mandate in that country, and I'm very comfortable with wearing a mask during this global situation because you have to wear the mask everywhere you go, so that means I don't have to brush my teeth every week anymore. I think that's.
But you do have to live with yourself, Stuart.
That's what smells so
Don't
good.
you have a cat or a dog also who might suffer?
He used to have a cat. She died.
He's still alive.
Oh, he's sorry.
He really doesn't like it when I put him in the microwave. Really doesn't like it.
Chinese food? What?
That's racist.
I can be racist. I'm quarter Chinese. So sorry. my mom is Chinese and my dad's Arab, so I'm quite a mess.
Quite a beautiful mess.
You can't be racist. I'm multicultural.
I come from a multicultural background as well. My dad was from the northern part of the U.S. and my mom was from the southern part.
Redneck.
So that means that my accent is kind of neutralized, canceled out. And I've been abroad so long. Quite often when I meet Americans, tourists somewhere in Europe, and I end up talking to them for whatever reason. They say, "Oh, you learned English so well." And I'm like, "Thanks, dumbass. I'm American. By the way, how is it growing up in Western Kentucky?" And they're like, "How do you know where I'm from?" I'm like, because I'm American.
Well, I don't know about your accent, yeah?
I'm
just not good with accents.
Every time when I look in the mirror, I see like maybe there is some Greek in me.
Oh.
It's like it's coming out the nose. And also when I learned the Greek language, it seemed, like it's coming from inside me. It's not like I'm learning, but I'm reminded.
Maybe you were Greek in your past life.
I don't know.
Greek goddess. Tell me, what was the hardest word? Or do you still have been able to manage?
Aporbandika.
It
was the first and
what does that mean?
The hardest. It's laundry powder. Washing powder.
Aporbandika.
Aporbandika.
Can you say it?
Aporbandika. Aporbandika.
Aporbandika. Okay. Jesus Christ.
Aporbandika. I've said that about 10 times now, and I will never say it again. I'll never remember.
What is the hardest language? The hardest word in English language for you, Stuart?
Clothes.
What?
Like redad. Clothing.
Like
Clothing, but the
congratulations.
Because you have the
spell is also quite.
You have the vocalized th, so it's a the followed by a z. Clothes. It's literally impossible to make that transition.
Just watch me. Clothes.
Oh. I think the most English speakers. Baffanapoli.
More of that, please.
No. One of the most, the hardest word of the English language, and most people make the mistake, even the English speakers, is restaurant when they spell it. Do you know that?
Restaurant.
Yeah.
Restaurant.
People write it like a restaurant all the time.
I would not know how to spell it right now. Another mistake that I'm basically every day making is the word pronunciation. Like how if I'm
pronunciation.
No. No, I can say it, but I cannot spell it. No. I'm always spelling it wrong when I'm looking up pronunciations of different names.
It's funny because I can say spelling, but I can't write it.
Oh, another dad joke. What about in Estonian? What is the hardest word that you think that a foreigner is not able to?
Headööd. It was always a very tricky one to teach.
Okay, how's my accent? Headööd.
Wow.
American.
Almost.
No.
Headööd.
No. Mis sa tahad minust? Mida sa ootad?
Mida sa ootad?
What do you want from me? What are you waiting for?
Perfection.
How do you say that in Estonian?
Täiuslikkust.
I was just going to say eestlased.
I would have said americano.
I'm trying to.
I think we're kind of starting to run out of time, though.
What?
Yeah.
We don't have time, man. Time doesn't exist.
Okay, whatever. You're getting
Time
ready
does not
for
exist.
this thing.
I'm very into. But okay, well, you don't want to talk about it anymore. Fine, you don't want to talk to me, Mama.
So, Katrin, I'd like to thank you very much for coming. It's been
just be honest.
Interesting.
Just be honest.
No, it's been really fun. It's been really fun.
Before we go, I'd like to hear how you felt today. I mean, it was
There was
new
so
experience
much
for you.
left unsaid.
Go for it then. Let's don't wait. We have time.
I always do want to speak about sport.
Let's talk about sports, Stuart. You want to
Sure,
talk about sports?
We can do like a 2-minute one, like a very fast one. What is your relations to sports?
I know people who practice them.
Okay, you.
Just look at me. Guys, look at the
Enjoying
pictures, and you'll
everyday
see.
sports?
I'm a very sporty person.
No, you're an avid bicycle enthusiast.
Yes, and this weekend we had like the most important bicycle race in Estonia. The Tartu Ratta Marathon. It's like a celebration for the cyclists. And I took the half marathon because I had to work very early the next morning. I didn't want to mess up my voice. And yes,
we have been speaking for 30 minutes.
I'm just going to say it. Okay. I won first place in my own category.
You did?
So yeah.
Awesome, congratulations.
It was a big deal. So now I've said it, and thank you.
Amazing. Well, that's great. I mean, actually, I do follow you a lot, so I see all this. Actually, it makes me tired.
You follow me a lot?
Yes, I'm a stalker.
Like,
no, I follow you on Instagram, and I see all
live
your.
so far away. Like, do you have a car?
I have a car, of course.
That's
just
the car.
saying. I do get tired just by looking at your pictures, always exercising. So I think you work out for the both of us. So I think it's okay.
I have never posted a picture in a gym.
Well, for me, anything besides walking is exercising for me. So.
Hey, Jason, keep digging.
Say what?
You're not at the bottom yet.
Guys, thank you for joining us today.
Yes, thank you for listening and watching if you're able to see this. Katrin Aarma, thank you once again for being a guest.
Katrin. It was lovely to have you here. I forgot how to say thank you in Greek. It's like
Ευχαριστώ.
Ευχαριστώ.
Εγώ ευχαριστώ.
Ευχαριστώ.
Your fart is store?
No farting, no.
Guys, thank you so much for listening to the Estonian Experience with Stu and Jay. Thank you, Katrin, again for being able to spend some time here with us. Make sure you stay tuned for the next episode because we got something better and bigger than me coming.
I will stay tuned.
It's nice.
See you later.
Bye.
Adios. You've been talking for 30 minutes.
I actually was watching what was
Just saying.